President Donald Trump has just dropped a bombshell on TikTok users across America. In a stunning announcement, Trump has officially extended the TikTok ban deadline to June 15th, 2025, putting intense pressure on TikTok's parent company ByteDance. With time running out, ByteDance now faces a critical choice: sell TikTok or shut it down in the United States for good. TikTok fans, influencers, and millions of everyday users are now scrambling to figure out what happens next. Will TikTok be saved? Or are we about to witness one of the biggest social media shutdowns in history? Stay with me, because we're breaking down everything you need to know: the new deadline, Trump's reasons, ByteDance's response, and what it all means for you. Let's get right into it. In a surprising but not entirely unexpected move, President Donald Trump has once again extended the deadline for the for sale or ban of the popular social media app TikTok in the United States. This decision, announced late Tuesday evening, has sent shockwaves through both the political and tech worlds as ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, scrambles to comply with U.S. national security concerns while also trying to maintain its multi-billion-dollar American market share. This latest action comes amid growing concerns over user data security, foreign influence, and national sovereignty in the tech sector. Trump, who has long positioned himself as a fierce protector of American interests, stated that the extension was granted to give ByteDance one final opportunity to prove they are not controlled by the Chinese Communist Party and to find a solution that satisfies American regulators. The TikTok controversy first exploded onto the national scene during Trump's presidency in 2020. Citing concerns that TikTok was harvesting vast amounts of user data and sending it back to Chinese authorities, Trump signed an executive order demanding that ByteDance divest TikTok's U.S. operations or face an outright ban. At the time, companies like Microsoft, Oracle, and Walmart showed interest in acquiring TikTok's American business. However, negotiations stalled, mired by legal challenges and shifting political winds after the 2020 election. When President Biden took office, many assumed the issue would be quietly shelved. Instead, the Biden administration launched its own comprehensive security review of foreign-owned apps. Now, as Trump campaigns for the 2024 election, he has resurrected the issue with renewed urgency, claiming that America must not be a digital colony of Beijing. According to the new executive memo released by Trump's campaign team, ByteDance has until June 19th, 2025 to either sell TikTok's U.S. operations to an American-approved buyer or face being banned from U.S. app stores and internet service providers. The language of the extension is uncompromising. It states, should ByteDance fail to meet the conditions outlined, TikTok will be deemed a national security threat and subjected to the full penalties permissible under American law. Trump's team also stressed that this extension is a final courtesy and not a signal of weakening resolve. Sources close to Trump say the extension was granted mainly because several major American tech firms requested more time to negotiate terms with ByteDance. ByteDance responded swiftly with a public statement Wednesday morning, expressing gratitude for the extension but asserting that they have never shared U.S. user data with the Chinese government and will continue negotiations in good faith. We remain committed to protecting user privacy and maintaining TikTok as a safe, secure platform for millions of Americans, ByteDance said in a press release. However, behind closed doors, insiders report that ByteDance executives are panicking. The U.S. market is critical for TikTok's global operations, accounting for an estimated 35% of total ad revenue. A ban would be devastating, not just financially but reputationally. Sources also reveal that ByteDance is considering a spin-off of TikTok Global, allowing American investors to hold a controlling interest, thereby insulating the platform from accusations of Chinese government influence. Critics argue that Trump's move is politically motivated, designed to stoke nationalist sentiments, and appeal to voters concerned about China's growing influence. During a rally in Ohio just hours after announcing the extension, Trump thundered, "We will not let communist China spy on our kids, control our culture, and steal our future." He went on to lambaste the Biden administration for what he called years of inaction, framing himself as the only candidate willing to stand up to Beijing and Silicon Valley at the same time. Political analysts suggest that by reigniting the TikTok debate, Trump hopes to frame his campaign around issues of national strength economic independence, and technological sovereignty, themes that resonate deeply with large swaths of the American electorate. The business community has been watching the TikTok saga unfold with a mix of anxiety and opportunism. Major tech firms like Oracle and Microsoft have reportedly reopened discussions with ByteDance. Oracle, which previously partnered with TikTok on U.S. data storage, is seen as a frontrunner in any potential deal. However, regulatory hurdles remain high. The stock market reacted immediately to the news. Shares of Meta Platforms, Facebook's parent company, and Snap Incorporated soared on expectations that a TikTok ban would leave a massive void in the social media landscape. Meanwhile, Chinese tech stocks tumbled amid fears of escalating tensions between Washington and Beijing. Not everyone is cheering Trump's decision. Civil liberties groups, including the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, have criticized the move as an overreach that could set a dangerous precedent for government control over online platforms. In a statement, the ACLU warned, banning a platform like TikTok raises serious First Amendment concerns. Millions of Americans use TikTok to express themselves, organize, and participate in public discourse. TikTok influencers and content creators also voice their outrage on social media. Many depend on the platform for their livelihoods, and a ban would be catastrophic for their careers. TikTok star Addison Rae tweeted, "Millions of creators, small businesses, and artists rely on TikTok. We need solutions that protect users without destroying opportunities." What's next? The next few weeks will be critical. ByteDance must navigate complex negotiations, regulatory scrutiny, and political landmines, all while maintaining user confidence. If no deal is reached by June 19th, the U.S. government will move forward with an unprecedented ban on one of the world's largest social media platforms. Tech analysts predict a flurry of legal challenges, with ByteDance likely to sue the U.S. government on constitutional grounds. Meanwhile, cybersecurity experts warn that banning TikTok could push young Americans toward even less regulated, more dangerous platforms. The TikTok issue also has major implications beyond U.S. borders. Countries like Canada, the UK, and Australia are closely watching America's actions and considering their own measures against TikTok. If the U.S. succeeds in banning the app or forcing a sale, it could trigger a domino effect worldwide. China's foreign ministry has already condemned Trump's actions, accusing the U.S. of bullying and threatening retaliatory measures against American companies operating in China. One anonymous Chinese official reportedly told Reuters, "The United States cannot claim to be a free market champion while at the same time banning successful foreign companies without evidence." According to leaked internal documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal, ByteDance has developed a contingency plan called Project Shield, designed to protect TikTok's core algorithms from seizure or forced transfer. Sources say that under Project Shield, TikTok's key technologies will remain under ByteDance control, even if TikTok's U.S. operations were sold. This could complicate negotiations, as American buyers want not just a user base, but the powerful recommendation engine that makes TikTok so addictive. If ByteDance refuses to sell the algorithms, it's unclear whether any American company would even want to buy TikTok, potentially forcing a shutdown. As the deadline looms and the pressure mounts, the future of TikTok in America hangs in the balance. Trump's move to extend the deadline adds a few more chapters to an already dramatic saga, but offers no guarantees of a peaceful resolution. ByteDance faces a stark choice: negotiate a sale, challenge the order legally, or risk losing one of its biggest markets forever. And as the world watches, one thing is clear: the battle over TikTok is about far more than just viral dance videos. It's a clash over data, power, and the future of the global internet. Facing mounting pressure and the looming threat of a U.S. ban, TikTok has not remained idle. Over the past 48 hours, the company launched an aggressive media campaign aimed at winning public sympathy and influencing policymakers. TikTok's U.S. CEO, Shou Chu, appeared on major news outlets including CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC, delivering a consistent message. TikTok is not a threat to U.S. national security, and banning it would hurt millions of American users far more than it would hurt ByteDance. In a tense interview with CNN's Caitlin Collins, Chu stated, "We understand concerns around national security. That's why we've invested over $1.5 billion into Project Texas, an initiative to safeguard U.S. user data on American soil. overseen by American companies. Project Texas refers to TikTok's ongoing partnership with Oracle to store American user data in the United States. Chu emphasized that ByteDance executives based in China have no access to this data and that strict firewalls are in place. Trump's push to extend the deadline and ultimately ban TikTok if no sale occurs has not been without controversy within Washington itself. Some Republicans have rallied behind Trump's actions, framing TikTok as a Trojan horse for Chinese espionage. Senator Josh Hawley, Republican Missouri, a longtime China hawk, praised the move. It's about time we treated TikTok like the national security threat it is. No more excuses. No more delays. Meanwhile, others within Trump's own party worry about the political fallout. TikTok is wildly popular among young Americans, a demographic Republicans have struggled to connect with. Senator Rand Paul, Republican Kentucky, warned, banning TikTok could backfire spectacularly among Gen Z voters. We should address national security risks without resorting to heavy-handed censorship. Democrats have been similarly divided. Some progressive lawmakers, including Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat in New York, oppose an outright ban on free speech grounds, while more centrist Democrats, like Senator Mark Warner, Democrat Virginia, support tighter restrictions on foreign-owned apps. The result is a rare moment of bipartisan agreement, but also bipartisan confusion about the best path forward. Political analysts believe Trump's TikTok extension is a calculated gamble. On one hand, it portrays him as tough on China, a stance that resonates strongly with his base. On the other hand, it gives him a valuable talking point if a deal eventually collapses. He can claim he gave ByteDance every possible chance, but that they failed to meet American standards. It's a win-win for Trump, said CNN political commentator Van Jones. If TikTok is banned, he gets to say he protected America. If it's sold, he gets to say he forced China to give up one of their crown jewels. Trump's campaign manager, Susie Wiles, reportedly views the TikTok issue as a major wedge topic for suburban and rural voters who view China with suspicion and distrust. Meanwhile, major American tech companies are circling TikTok like sharks smelling blood. Oracle, Microsoft, and even Walmart have quietly resumed talks with ByteDance about acquiring TikTok's U.S. operations. Industry insiders say that if the sale does happen, the price could exceed $50 billion, one of the largest tech deals in history. However, potential buyers are wary of two major hurdles. One, algorithm access. Without access to TikTok's core algorithms, the app's magic, its ability to deliver viral content with uncanny accuracy, would be lost. Two, brand damage. Buying a platform under government duress could create lasting brand image issues. An Oracle executive, speaking anonymously to Reuters, said, "Buying TikTok isn't just buying an app. It's buying a brand in the middle of a political and cultural firestorm. It's very risky." Facing limited options, ByteDance has floated a new idea, selling a minority stake in TikTok global to American investors while maintaining overall ownership. Under this plan, TikTok would establish an independent U.S. board with strict oversight of data and operations by American officials. However, the Trump camp has already dismissed this proposal as inadequate. A senior Trump advisor told Axios, "Nothing short of a full sale will satisfy our national security concerns. ByteDance must relinquish control, period." This leaves ByteDance with precious little room to maneuver as the clock ticks down. China's government has made clear it will not allow ByteDance to sell TikTok's algorithms, branding them national technological treasures. Beijing recently expanded its export control laws to include recommendation algorithms, a move widely seen as aimed directly at any forced TikTok sale. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning condemned Trump's actions in a press briefing. The U.S. should stop abusing the concept of national security to suppress foreign companies. Such bullying behavior violates the principles of fair competition and free trade. In private, Chinese officials worry that a TikTok ban could set a precedent for broader U.S. action against other Chinese tech giants like Tencent, Alibaba, and Huawei. If Trump follows through on banning TikTok, a new phase of the U.S.-China tech war could ignite, with unpredictable consequences for the global economy. As the threat to TikTok intensifies, influencers and content creators have mobilized. Hundreds of TikTok stars, many with millions of followers, plan to stage rallies in major cities like Los Angeles, New York, and Miami to protest a potential ban. There are also lobby members of Congress, sending coordinated messages emphasizing how TikTok provides economic opportunities for young Americans, from musicians and artists to small business owners and activists. A leading TikTok influencer, known as the Dancing Doc, who has over 9 million followers, said in an emotional video, "TikTok changed my life. It gave me a voice when no one else would listen. Now, politicians who don't even use the app want to take it away." At its core, the TikTok debate reflects a much larger, unresolved global question. Who controls the data of the 21st century? National security experts argue that countries must have sovereignty over the digital information of their citizens. Critics counter that data sovereignty can easily become an excuse for censorship and authoritarianism. Legal scholars point out that even if TikTok is banned, the deeper issue of how American companies like Meta, Google, and Amazon handle personal data remains unresolved. TikTok may be a convenient scapegoat, but it's far from the only player in the data privacy problem, said Susan Crawford, a Harvard Law School professor. As the situation develops, several possible outcomes are emerging. 1. Full sale. ByteDance sells TikTok's U.S. operations to an American firm, preserving the app but at great financial and political cost. 2. Partial sale with heavy oversight. ByteDance retains a minority stake, but cedes operational control to U.S. authorities. 3. Legal battle and delay. ByteDance sues to block the ban, dragging the process into months or even years of court battles. 4. Outright ban. If no deal is reached and no successful legal challenge occurs, TikTok is banned in the United States by late June 2025. Each path carries enormous risks. For TikTok, for ByteDance, for the U.S. government, and for millions of users worldwide. As of today, TikTok's fate remains perilously uncertain. Donald Trump's decision to extend the deadline has bought ByteDance some time, but not much hope. Behind the scenes, furious negotiations continue. Tech titans draw up battle plans. Lawyers sharpen their arguments. Creators brace for impact. Users watch nervously, scrolling through their For You pages, wondering if this digital community will soon vanish. Whatever happens, the TikTok saga marks a watershed moment in the 21st century struggle over technology, power, and freedom. It is a battle not just for a platform, but for the future rules of the digital world itself. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think banning TikTok is the right move, or is it just another power play? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm reading every single one. And if you love staying ahead on breaking news like this, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching. See you in the next update.